What's going on today, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jay. Today I have a topic that we need to talk about. And this isn't like that guy who every video title says we need to talk about whatever. We actually need to talk about this because this could affect you. So let me grab the guitar in question. This guitar, you've seen it before. This is my Jackson Juggernaut Misha Mansour signature guitar. This is the Pro Plus series, the HT6, the hardtail. And you have seen this guitar in numerous videos on my channel over the course of the past couple of months. What you don't know is that this is actually the 5th version of this guitar that I've had here in my hands at the home studio. Now, how did that come to be? I'm going to tell you, and it's a crazy story. So, a few months back, I saw this guitar online. I saw it on Zounds.com, and I'm like, that thing looks gorgeous. I know I'm going to love it. I want to check it out right away. So I contacted Zounds. They sent it to me on loan. Because I have an affiliation with them, and they let me, check out the guitar. I reviewed it, demoed it, all that stuff. I used it in one of my M3 videos. It was great. I loved it. There was only one little problem, a small minor problem. The selector switch wouldn't seem to engage properly in the 5th position, in the full neck humbucker position. And I wasn't really sure what was going on. It just didn't seem to have a solid click in that last position. It just kind of was like soft, and I don't know what was going on. So I opened up the back of the guitar, I checked it out, and it turns out that the switch mechanism itself was misaligned with the slot here in the front of the body. So that basically didn't allow the selector switch to go all the way into the 5th position, out of 4th position. So it was kind of disconcerting because you want to make sure when you're in the 5th position that you're just getting this humbucker and not that 4th position sound. So it wasn't a big deal. I was able to make it work. You just kind of had to push it hard to make sure it stayed kind of in that position. Anyways, I let Zounds know about the issue because in case they wanted to investigate the guitar further, when I sent it back, they could do so before they passed it on to somebody else who would likewise find the same problem. So I let them know about the issue right off the bat. I did my videos, and when I was all done, I realized I love the guitar so much, I just want to own it. I just want to buy it outright. So I contacted Zounds again. I said, listen, despite the fact that there's this little problem with the guitar, I do love it. I think I can fix that. Not a big deal. Can I buy that guitar? Well, it turns out that I couldn't. They wouldn't allow me to because, different inventory is allocated to different departments for different reasons. So this guitar was sent to me, or that guitar rather, was sent to me on loan. And if I wanted to purchase one, I had to send that one back to get a brand new unopened one, which I promptly did because I love the guitar. Now, full disclosure, because I have this affiliation with them, I was able to get the guitar at a significant discount. It still cost something, but it wasn't quite as much as, full MSRP. So they sent me a new guitar after a couple of days. It was great too. I loved it. It played well. It felt great. Looked amazing. Same deal. Only problem was when I went to change the strings and I cut them free and everything else, and I tried to pull them out, they just were coming out really slow and tight. Like they were just stuck. Like something was going on inside the body. And it felt like I could hear grinding of the wood as I was pulling the bigger strings through. And it did it for all the strings. They were all kind of just tight to come out, which makes no sense because usually when your strings are loose, they just slide right out, right? So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So I go to put new strings in, and I literally couldn't get them to go through the holes. They just weren't lining up. They weren't coming through the bridge at all. I'm like, what is going on? So I investigated a little bit further. I took all the bridge saddles off to see if I could see what's up with these holes. And it turns out the holes in the body were not aligned with the holes through the metal bridge itself. So it was just making it so that the string would kind of have to do a weird weave or whatever to get through the holes, which was ridiculous. So I immediately let Zounds know about that issue as well. And I'm like, this just won't do. I don't know what's going on with this guitar. Something's just up with it. It's not, the quality on this thing is not right. So I'm like, I still love the instrument. I want to keep it. Can I send it back for, exchange it for a new one? They said, sure, no problem. So I sent it back to them. They sent me another one. That was now my third guitar at that point that I had received. That guitar had the exact same issue. I'm like, what is going on? I know it's not the same model because I checked the serial numbers. I take pictures of the serial numbers when I get every guitar in the home studio for just such an occasion. You never know when you might have to reference it, in the future. So I'm like, it's not the same guitar. So I contacted them again. I let them know what's going on. They're like, well, sorry, we don't know what's going on either, but send it back. We'll exchange it again, which they did. And I have to say, Zounds was extremely courteous and professional and kind about the whole issue. Not a big deal. So I get the fourth one in the house and the exact same thing again. I'm like, what is up with this guitar? Is it this guitar? Is it this brand? I don't know what's going on at this point. So I'm a little frustrated. I'm on my fourth one. I still want to keep the instrument. They're like, well, you can send it back for a full refund if you want to, no problem, but we can't keep exchanging it with you. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I get it. I can't just keep endlessly exchanging guitars with you for the same model. I let Zounds know about all these issues. I did a B-roll video of actually taking apart the bridge on one of them, and I'll show you that right now. So as you can see here, even with the bridge saddle removed and the little protective ring on the back, I literally still cannot get this string to go all the way through. And I realized that the holes inside the body, if you can see that, they're just out of alignment. So somewhere underneath the bridge here, the hole is crooked. Whether the bridge was not seated directly over where those holes were, I don't know. I kind of wonder why they wouldn't drill the holes. If they don't have a blueprint for this, why wouldn't they just drill the holes after they set the bridge down on the body? A little confused about that, and a little disappointed too, because this is actually the second version of this model that I've gotten that's now had some kind of an issue with it, a quality control issue that I have to deal with. Even as I pulled these strings out, you can see that some like sawdust came out because it's scraping the hole inside of the guitar. So next step is let's get this bridge off. All right, just give you guys a real quick close-up of the drill job they did here. Looks like they did a couple sets of holes and realized they screwed up. So yeah, the stuff you don't see. The bridge holes, the bridge has to be where it has to be for the scale length to be right, causes the other holes for the strings to not line up. Theoretically, the string holes are more like this, and then as you can see, the holes for the bridge screws to hold it down, those are offset. So that's a huge error on somebody's part. It wasn't me. It's somebody at the factory is screwing up. The machine, somebody, doing the drilling, whatever's going on, somebody's messing up. So basically, I want this video to serve as an open letter to Jackson/Fender that you have a quality control issue on your hands that you may not be aware of. I did let the authorized dealer, Zounds, know about the issue I was having with that particular guitar. Eventually, I started to think that, maybe Zounds just received a bad batch of these guitars from the manufacturer, and unbeknownst to them, because who would know? When you get a guitar at the store or, the distributor, they're not changing strings on them. They're just going to make sure everything's okay, visually, maybe a sound check real quick, and then they box them back up and they sell them. So, this is no shade. I'm not throwing shade to Zounds. I'm not throwing shade on Jackson, Fender, not Misha, nobody. I think what happened here was there was just some significant quality control issues going on at the facility itself, the manufacturing facility. And I watched a video recently from Phil McKnight where he did a really in-depth expose video of one of the factories in Indonesia, which was really illuminating because I had no idea. It's a huge campus with multiple warehouses and huge, buildings and different manufacturing facilities on site where they manufacture guitars for a myriad of different companies, right? You probably know this already, but what I didn't realize was that different buildings on the campus in different departments, different groups of builders and craftspeople work at different levels of quality, right? So let's say, for instance, you're buying a $300 guitar from whoever. Obviously, they're not going to spend a lot of time on that particular instrument because they have to keep costs down to pass the savings on to you. And then likewise, if you buy a guitar that costs $2,500 or $4,000 or whatever, they're going to spend a significantly more amount of time making sure that that instrument is flawless, perfect, beautiful, fully functioning, no problems, right? Well, this guitar currently retails in the US for just over $1,000. I think it's about $1,050, give or take. And for that amount of money, you know, I consider that to be like a mid-tier to upper mid-tier as far as pricing goes these days. Yes, it's a lot of money to some people, to somebody else it's nothing, right? But $1,000 either way is $1,000. And when you buy a brand new product, any item at all, anywhere in the world, you expect it to arrive to you in brand new, fully functioning condition, which the guitar just simply wasn't. And I'm like, I'm really frustrated about this because I love the guitar. It plays great. It sounds good. You know, it gives me the periphery vibes. I mean, they even ship it to you in drop C with like a low 58 string. It's made to just gen, right? This thing is incredible. I love this. It's beautiful. And I was worried that if I didn't buy it right away, if I got the refund and then bought one months later, I might miss out on this color because who knows how long they're going to do that run. I might have to buy it secondhand, and the secondhand market is crazy. You don't know what you're getting. They're going to jack up the price. I mean, a whole bunch of things could happen. So I wanted to make sure I had the guitar. So finally, I was like, okay, Zounds, I understand. I'll just keep that one. But I reached out to Jackson directly. I put a ticket in with their customer support online, and I had a discussion with somebody there and explained the entire issue, what was going on. And I wanted to let them know that, look, you guys have a serious quality issue going on at the manufacturing facility. You might want to look into it. So I documented as well as I could. I gave them all the serial numbers for all the guitars that I had that had issues. I explained where I got them. I explained what happened, and the whole story, right? In the end, all they wanted from me was proof of purchase and proof of the defects or the quality issues, which I promptly provided. And I have to say that Jackson customer service was top rate. The folks I dealt with there were just really nice and understanding. They immediately, upon receiving all of the documentation, they said, look, we'll just send you a new one. Send us the one you have currently. And they shipped out this one here, which is the final one. And yes, I'm keeping it. And yes, I love it. And yes, there are no issues with this one. So I think what it comes down to is that Zounds, for whatever reason, just received a bad batch of guitars. It happens. It could happen to any seller. It could happen to anyone, anytime. It just so happens that, whoever was working on those guitars needs to be retrained, because you would think that there's like a template that just goes on the body to where the drill press drills the holes. It's like that part of the build to me seems to be probably mechanically automated. You'd think they couldn't screw that up, but somebody did. Really weird, right? It's just a strange thing. So I want you guys out there to understand that even as a YouTuber, we can get instruments that are subpar, that have serious quality control issues. It happens. And I'm doing this video as, like I said, it's an open letter to Jackson to let them know that you have some issues on your hands and you might want to check it out, because otherwise you're going to end up with a bunch of dissatisfied customers or people just leaving the brand altogether, and you're just going to lose business to some other manufacturer. So I hope this video serves as, a warning to the consumer, number one, that even when you spend a lot of money, you might get not the best quality that you're expecting for that amount of money. And then two, I want to let Jackson Fender know that, you have an issue there. Contact the manufacturing facility and see what it is you can do to rectify this going forward, because you don't want this to happen again, right? I love the brand. I love Fenders. I love Jacksons and Charvels. They're all part of the same kind of, umbrella company. And I would hate to see this to happen to somebody else too, because it really was unnecessary. So here's my takeaway from the Film McKnight video. Because there's all different departments doing different levels of quality intentionally, right, for the different price points, I feel that this particular model, and that the fact that they're charging over $1,000 for it, they may want to reconsider which department or which facility on that campus they're having these built at, because I know they want to maximize profits. Every company in the world wants to maximize profits. But if it's a matter of a few dollars or a percentage point or two, less profit on each unit by going with a better facility or a better group, a different department within that whole location, you might want to consider that, because you just don't want to leave a bad taste in people's mouths. You don't want to have people dissatisfied when they've spent good hard money, their hard-earned money, over $1,000 for something like this, and they're just getting subpar quality. So I hope that this was kind of a one-off scenario. I hope that batch of guitars has been all returned and, destroyed or it was being checked out, because it was just a huge mess for me. It was a huge headache, and it just shouldn't happen. It shouldn't have happened, and I don't want it to happen to you guys out there. So we needed to talk about this. You know, I don't know if this was an issue with any other model or any other run from Jackson, but that specific guitar needs serious improvement. From my perspective, from the 5 I've had in my hands, this is the first one that has no real issues at all. And they all come with the quality control stamps on them, right? You would think that they actually did the quality control, but I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I want this video to serve as a warning to you as a consumer out there. So hopefully this information is helpful to somebody going forward, because you may come across a similar circumstance where you pay a lot of money for something and you just get, you know, basically a piece of crap, something that's just not functioning right as it should be. If Jackson wants to reach out to me at some point and, you know, discuss this further, I can give them more details, more documentation, whatever I can do to help out, because I love the brand. I want to continue to check out their guitars as new models come along. And I would love to have a little dialogue with them too, if they really want to hear from me and see what I have to say about it. And if they don't, that's okay too. And a funny thing is, I actually did DM Misha on Instagram. I thought I was just being courteous and professional. I'm like, I should just let the guy whose name is stamped basically on this model know that there's some serious manufacturing issues going on. And because I know from my own perspective, I wouldn't want to have something out there with my name on it that's just subpar or just coming out with total issues, right? So I let him know. He didn't get back to me. I didn't expect that he would. He doesn't know me from Adam, and that's okay. He's busy, whatever. But Misha, I love you. Periphery, you guys are amazing. Amazing music. I love the guitar now. It's great. I'm having so much fun with it. I'm playing it all the time, and I will cherish this thing for a long time to come. It's a gent machine. Anyways, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you got any value out of this video, please make sure that you like this video. Please make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, because I'm trying to reach 3,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and I've got about 2 weeks left, so there's probably no way I'm going to make it. But with your help, maybe I can. So please make sure to hit that subscribe button. You watch my videos anyways, right, guys? Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, I'm out of here. See ya!